the only time you should be named Braxton is like 14 to 23, and then you're done. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 100 of
Woo!
Dial M for Movies.
Oh wait, this is when I can use a soundboard. Hold on.
Honestly, saying that number still feels surreal. My name is Olivia.
And I'm Kadija.
And I cannot believe we've actually made it here. If you're new, welcome. You found a podcast where we deep dive into films, celebrate what we love, and occasionally get way too passionate about things that probably don't matter. And if you've been with us for a while, thank you. Genuinely, you're the reason this podcast exists.
Yes.
I have to take a moment here because reaching 100 episodes has me a bit reflective. When we started this, it was just 2 microphones, far too much enthusiasm, and 0 expectations. And I never imagined the doors it has opened, conversations with filmmakers I admire, connections with our incredible community, opportunities I didn't think were possible for a podcast like ours or in general. And the journey has truly changed how I watch movies, how I think about storytelling, and honestly, how I see like what's achievable when you just commit to something you love. So thank you, Kadija, also for reaching out and asking me to be doing a podcast.
Are you kidding? This podcast wouldn't be what it is without you. I would not have had the balls to do it on my own, and I'm just so glad you matched my freak in the most perfect way.
So
genuinely. So thank you.
Bless. So
Yes.
Today's episode is a celebration. We're looking back at some of our favorite moments from our past 100 episodes, talking through films that the podcast has introduced us to, movies we might never have watched otherwise that have become genuine favorites. And we've also got some announcements.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a drum roll sound?
There is. Hold on. Guys, we're testing this whole thing out. Also, one of our 100th episode, I guess, not surprises, but like introductions is us to YouTube as a full episode thing. So you can now listen to us, but you can also watch us if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
And so we will be here every week on YouTube now, along with our interviews, which you can now watch as well. But let me find. You said drum roll?
Yeah, it's
I have
there.
drum roll bongos.
Second announcement. We are launching a new segment called Dialed In.
Yes. Wait, no. Applause intense. We're just fucking around at this point.
People are going to drop off after this. Like, there's too many sound bites. Dropping every other month. We'll be bringing on some guests, friends, fellow creators, people from all corners of the industry to talk about the films that shaped them, how they got to where they are, and what cinema means to them and their lives. Our first guest will be 2 of the movie podcast guys, Daniel and Shabazz, and we're really excited to chat with them soon. And so keep an eye out for that.
I'm excited. It's like a low pressure conversation. I just want to dig deep into. I mean, all of our conversations are very low pressure, but I don't know. We'll dig deep into people's psyche and why they love the movies they love, and I feel like that's always interesting. And I met a guy today, and the first question I asked was like, "What are your favorite movies?" And I got into it. Like, it's such an easy.
I also asked one that today.
No way! Look at us go.
And she works at TIFF, and she
really?
said Kiki's Delivery Service, and oh god, what was the other one? Cannot recall.
Okay, well, the guy that I talked to said it was The Red Specters or Spectators. I don't know. I've never seen it before. It's the same guy that did Ghost in the Shell.
And I don't know who that is.
Yeah. That's okay. I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. Not the Scarlett Johansson movie. Definitely.
Oh, yes. Okay. Before we get absolutely lost in the movie madness for today, if you could do us the tiniest solid and give us a 5-star rating on Spotify, it's like our digital applause. And frankly, we're desperate for validation. So
yes, please.
It helps people find us and really helps us grow. And if you're not already stalking us on Instagram and TikTok at Dial M for Movies Pod, what are you even doing? We're out here posting clips.
Do that. Yes.
We're out here posting clips, stories, updates, trailers, behind the scenes moments that maybe shouldn't see the light of day, and as well as the occasional interview. when we've somehow convinced people to let us talk to them. But yes, that is all. Getting into today's content. Kind of a look back, a reflection, if you will. We're going to be chatting about kind of how this podcast has made us feel, what we've done with it, any great moments that you can think of, movies that we have watched that maybe we wouldn't have without it. I know I have quite a few listed, but
Same.
I'm curious, Kadija, if there have been any standout experiences because of the podcast or moments from on the podcast that you really love or maybe have surprised you.
Well, because obviously I knew this was happening in preparation for it. It's so weird to, like, first of all, listen
I
back to
know.
episodes, like, especially because, like, we're using different platforms, different mics, and so, like, we sound different on, those across different platforms, whatever, and so I'm just listening back to our first episode, I'm like, "Oh my god, we were like babies, newbies to
Yeah.
this." Um, and so, yeah, I was watching a bunch of or listening to a bunch of episodes, and I came across something that I felt like was so buried, but so necessary. And it was episode 16. It was, The Idea of You.
Mhm.
Um, and we were talking about how Nicholas Gallatin's character is so clearly inspired by Harry Styles.
Yes.
And people are obviously talking about, like, it's 5 sauce and whatever. And then you and I spend, like 2 minutes just also shit talking his goatee because it was terrible at
Yeah,
the end.
awful.
And it's so funny to me. And then I also, in that same episode, which I don't know why this is a thing and this happened, I introduced you to Club Chalamet for the first time on that
I remember
podcast.
that.
How crazy. I was like, "You've never heard of Club Chalamet?"
And now I'm, like, so deep in it.
And now she's no longer a Club Chalamet.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Oh, she dropped Timothy. She's now a Connor Story fan.
Of course.
Yeah,
A new twink has entered the chat.
of
Or a
course.
twunk.
A twunk. Yeah, exactly. And that Timothy's in a dire situation right now because the one person who was, like, bigging him up
Literally.
regardless has left him to dry, and that's really scary,
And he's out here, like, on the beach.
on the beach. Like, he should really be more concerned about this,
Yeah.
actually. What about you?
I think back to our first fight often when we were talking about fallen leaves.
Like, that's one of my moments too. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I feel like there have been very few moments where we've genuinely been like, "I don't agree at all." And it's been
Yeah.
about fallen leaves.
Mhm.
I think you liked Jurassic World Rebirth and I did
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Um, People we meet on vacation.
Yes.
Um, I'm, like, trying to think of any where I'm like, we genuinely, like, could not be a further from it opinion, but, like, those are the only 3 that I can
F1,
think of.
did you l I feel
I
like you
didn't
liked it a lot
love
more than I
F1, but, like,
did.
I enjoyed my time watching it.
I could've done without it, so I guess there's that movie too.
But, yeah, I think back to that first fight of fall because that was maybe episode
That was episode
3,
2. Was
2?
it 2 or 3? No,
2 or
3.
3. Yeah, I
'Cause
think it was
Paris Blues is
3.
episode 2.
Yes, and then because it was with the kitchen,
The kitchen, yeah.
which I've never thought about again,
Me
unfortunately.
Sorry,
But,
Daniel
like,
Kaluuya, like, come back, I guess.
episode 3, and, like, I was, like I had my notes all ready, and they were all positive, and they were like, "I had such a good time, like, this was so fun and, like, weird and cool," and you got on the thing, you were like, "I hated it." I hated it.
Yeah.
Oh, and Blackberry. Blackberry is another one we did not agree on.
Oh, right, exactly. What was your, like, immediate thought when you were like, "Oh, shit, she does not like this
I was
movie."
like, "Oh my god, should I change my notes to agree?" And then I was like,
No!
"No, I need to stand my ground." 'Cause I was
I'm
just so
so glad you
concerned that you
did.
were gonna be like, "Oh my god, you're insane for thinking that."
No, I think it's so healthy when we have arguments. Not
I
arguments, but, like,
agree.
just, like, disagreements on things
Yeah.
because obviously, like, art is subjective, whatever. We've been over this 1,000 times, but
Yeah.
it's also, like, I am so curious as to to hear why you loved it. What are the things that you enjoyed about
Yes.
it that I maybe overlooked or just wasn't paying attention to because I've
Yeah.
decided early on that, "Hey, I'm not
I'm
really
not into
vibing
this.
with this." Yeah, and then you just stop paying attention. It's just really how it is.
Yeah.
But it and yeah, that like I said, that was also one of my moments as well, and I was just like, we could not have held two further opinions from each other, and it was just
Yeah.
honestly, I loved it.
I say like it was fun, and I remember thinking after like this is good because if the podcast was just us agreeing with each other, that would be so boring.
Yeah,
Like,
but,
and I'm so
most
glad.
honestly, most of these movies we are agreeing with each other,
Yeah,
but we
I
make
feel
it
like,
fun still.
and like to our own point, I guess. Like we pick the movies we talk about. Like
That is
they're
true,
not. We're
yeah.
not like often picking like stuff that we know would not do like that we wouldn't like.
Yeah.
And so when we pick a movie and then come back together and we're like, one of us is like, I actually didn't like it at all. I feel like I'm always a little bit like, oh, like we picked it.
Yeah.
Like we did it to ourselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was just I was so caught off guard because I think I was so prepared for you to have liked it.
Yeah.
And then you got on, you were like, this shit sucked. And I was like, huh?
Can I tell you a moment that I had to pinpoint as one of the funniest moments in that conversation? I said, like, it was very dreary, like, no one was smiling, and he goes, "What does she have to smile about?" And I and I said and which, like, honestly, fair, but then I was like, "She found a man that she likes." Like, if I did that, like, I would be giggling and, like, showing teeth or
Yeah.
whatever, and, like, that was such a funny moment because you were like, "Why?" And I'm like, "A man, like, duh." Which could not be me nowadays. I'm not giggling at no
No,
man,
you're like, where are
but
the lesbians?
thank you. But, yeah, no, that was just so funny to me, and then also we go on to have, like, further disagreements about the whole movie, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
really?" But I don't judge. If you like it, I love
No.
it.
Yes.
You
It's
know?
fun.
Yeah.
I feel like there have been I feel like I can count maybe like on two hands the amount of films we've watched that I have genuinely like not liked or have been really
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Like Off the Dome, Time Cut,
Ugh.
hated it.
Yeah, not good.
Jurassic
And it could
World.
have done so well. That's the thing.
Yes. They
Like,
and like there was a movie that was better that was just the same thing.
yeah, that's unfortunate, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, Jurassic World, Rebirth, didn't enjoy. I haven't loved every movie we've had to watch in preparation for interviews.
No, not really.
Um, like Marked Men, Rule Plus Shaw. Sorry to
Marked
say.
Man. There's a scene in that movie that is burned in my head.
What is it?
It is Chase Stokes getting spanked on the bed wearing bunny
Oh
hats.
my god.
I can't unsee it.
Yeah. Horrible.
It's horrible.
Horrible. Like Madam Web, also
Oh,
terrible.
yeah. I haven't seen it since that.
I have
What?
watched it since, and it's so
Yeah.
much worse than I remembered.
Really?
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
really
it's
bad.
like I guess it for me, a bad movie can only be fun and enjoyable in a theater. Like,
I
if
agree.
everyone knows they're collectively watching a bad movie, there's, like it's just a fun time now, you know?
Yeah. We're all collectively understanding that it's bad and can
Yeah.
watch it. Yeah.
And we can laugh at it now.
Yeah.
So if someone's, like, laughing at, like, a really dark and dire scene, yeah, exactly, it's
Yeah.
cringe and it's funny now, you know?
I did wanna bring up, TIFF because we've gotten the opportunity to go to TIFF 2 times with the podcast within our 100
Yeah.
episodes. We've gotten to talk to some incredible people whilst there. Drew Starkey, Diego Calva, Myhala, Matt
Will
Dillon,
Poulter?
Will Poulter, Mia McKenna Bruce,
Yeah.
Tom Blythe, which is insane.
Yeah,
Like, what the heck?
yeah. I know.
I feel as if I've blacked out for all of them. Like I can barely remember how I felt in the moment.
Yeah.
Especially with Drew Starkey. Like that shit was crazy. That shit
No,
that that rocked my
was
world.
so beautiful.
He's so beautiful and like so gorgeous and like
And so nice, like
every person we talk to, like they make such intense eye contact.
oh, yeah, I mean, where else are
Like
they gonna look? But
yeah,
it's
I
like
know. I feel like when I talk to people, I tend to like look everywhere else except for them. But
yeah,
they're just so locked in. Like
yeah,
it's been insane getting to speak to filmmakers and actors who we like look up to so much.
yeah.
Like I think my favorite was Diego Calva, which you spoke to him, but
Oh,
he was just
absolutely.
so into it and, like,
Yeah.
had such good answers, and he was so kind and generous and warm when
Mhm.
talking.
Yeah.
Just absolutely loved him.
And I had previously watched Babylon, like, a few months before that, and I
Yeah.
hadn't known who he was before I watched it. So then I watched it and I was like, "Oh, I love him." And then
Yeah.
I got to talk to him, and he's so great and personable, and a lot of people don't really acknowledge, like, the camera person, but he was like, "Hey, Olivia," and, like,
Literally
really
said my
sweet to you
name.
as well. Yeah. He was such a gem.
He was such a gem. Same with Myhalla. Myhalla, you like, was so locked in to talk to you. It
Yeah.
was so cool to watch, like, especially because 'cause you've been such a fan and, like, you would talk to her,
Yeah, we've been DMing
online,
for a while, and I was just like, "Please, like, if you see me on the carpet, just say hi." And she did, and
which you
it was
did.
so great. Yeah, I love watching her flourish. And who else was really great? Oh, Mia McKenna Bruce.
So wonderful in
When
the
I tell
movie.
you that woman is sunshine personified,
Yeah,
it's not a joke. Like,
literally.
she's incredible and such a joy to talk to, and, like, will smile with her whole face. It's one of the
Yeah.
girls, she'll key.
So one of the girls. She was,
Yeah.
like, wanting to hang.
And I was like, "Oh, I would so love to have a drink with you." I don't drink, but I could sit there, drink a Red
Like,
Bull or
yeah.
a Coke,
Yeah,
but
and just, like, let
she
you
seems like a great
talk.
time. Yeah, literally, I could listen to her talk for hours, she's so
Yeah.
great.
Was there any moments during TIFF that you were like, "This is insane, and I wouldn't have gotten to do this without the podcast," other than maybe some of the interviews or
Honestly, just attending TIFF,
Mhm.
because the whole reason that I wanted to start a film podcast is because I was writing on a website called Screen Queens, and it was the reason why I got to attend the first 2 times I went, and so that got shut down, and I was like, "I need another outlet to talk about movies." I need to talk about movies with someone because I feel like there's no one I know in my life, obviously now I know a lot more, but at the time, who watched and talks about movies to the extent that I did, and so I was like, "Oh, I kinda wanna do a talking format," just to get my opinions out there. And then I started this and I reached out to you, and then I was like, "Hey, if this goes somewhere, like, you could apply to TIFF." I think that was one of the first things we talked about. Was like, I was like, "I wanna go to TIFF,"
Mhm.
because it's one of the biggest film festivals in the world, and it's in our backyard, and it's like, "Come on, we gotta do this." And so the fact that we started it in Jan and then got to go that September, I think those and, like, going with you, like, it was just very sweet and very special
Yeah,
moment for me. Um, and yeah, just going in general was, like, a really cool moment.
I agree. It was crazy.
How was it your first TIFF?
No, I'd been 4 years. Like, I've been 4 years too.
Oh,
The
okay.
first year, I think I'd only seen 1 film,
Mhm.
and then the second year, I saw 6 films, and that was just, like, as an attendee.
Yeah. No, I
And
was
then
talking press.
but yeah, that was my first time doing press,
Okay.
and then we've done it once since. Yeah.
Yeah. And to
And I
many
see
more.
yes, hopefully, and hopefully to many more festivals.
Exactly.
Okay, I would love to know if you have a favorite episode or a couple favorite episodes.
Hmm. Actually, can I go back to moments that we love? Because it's
Yes.
I don't think it's necessarily a favorite well, it could be a favorite episode, but I just think, I want to shout out the 2 actors from the pit that we talked to, Sapri Ganesh and Garen Howell. And I
Yes.
want to shout out both of them because one of my favorite moments, aside from we talk about movies a lot on this podcast, duh, but to talk to an actor that genuinely loves movies is also
Yeah.
really fucking cool because it means that they know the industry they're in and they're just engaged with it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of actors out there that don't watch movies, and then you get to talk to people that do, and it's like
Yeah.
you're based, like you actually get it. And so Sabir Ganesh was one of them where I was just like, our interview lasted our interview talking about movies lasted more than it did when we were talking about the pit, which was like so funny to me. And I feel like it was also the same for Garen as well.
Yeah.
So like getting to talk to her about 500 Days of Summer or Bollywood or Substance was just like it's like you're so cool. Like I love this and I love talking to people about movies. And then also Garen, like just pulling out movies left, right, and center. It's
Yeah.
amazing and just such a great feeling when you can engage with someone in that way. And they're receptive to the game as well, you know,
Yeah.
because I feel like everyone wants to talk about their favorite movies, and it's really cool.
It is really cool. People love talking about themselves, I think, in a more casual way. Like, now having now done, I don't know, like film critic type of interviewing and like film press junkets, like I don't think celebrities like love doing that by
Mhm.
any means. Like it's very much like part of the job now. Of like you do a film, you do the press. Uh, but I think when you introduce an activity like the movie speed dial that we do with people, it just allows them to talk about something that they actually like or are passionate about versus like the work, which is like they're doing the junket to talk about the work, but allowing them to kind of geek out on something that we also love. Like is there is nothing more joyful than like watching. Like I remember Aaron, like when we brought up the movies and he mentioned um the Cornetto trilogy and like Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the
Yeah.
Dead, I was like, yes. And then he like was so excited, and like I just love finding common ground, and like movies have provided that to me in like literally every aspect of my life. Like there it's just
Yeah.
always something that I can talk about, and there's very few people who I meet now that are like, I don't watch movies, because like who the fuck doesn't watch movies?
Who doesn't watch movies?
um
Truly.
and so yeah, it's just so nice to like see someone's joy um in something like that.
Yeah. And then one more before we move on to the question that you asked. Um, Another moment that honestly, I don't know what makes me laugh, but it does. And you did it so well. It's a you moment. It was episode 61. We were talking about Sinners and The Accountant 2. The first moment is actually the beginning of the episode, the cold open, where I was talking about my manager at the time and how she hadn't gone to see Sinners yet, and she has obviously
Mm.
access to the P card. And you're like, "Works Cineplex? Give me the P card!" I was like, "Give her the P card!"
Literally hand me the P
Like,
card.
give her the P card because, like, yeah. What do you mean? It was like the second week of Sinners been out. I was like, "You haven't seen Sinners yet? Like, what's going on?"
If I had a car and a P card, the way I would live in at the
You would
Vaughn
be
Cinema,
unstoppable.
like
My goodness.
I would never not be there.
Yeah. And then the second moment was we were talking about John Bernthal's name in The Account 2 being Braxton.
Yes.
And then you were like, "That's not an adult man's name. Like, your name is John. It's not Braxton. Your name is John." And that to me, I was like, "Yeah, it is John."
It is
Because
John.
Braxton is so silly. Like, I'm sorry. You
Ridiculousness.
can't be a 45-year-old man named Braxton. What are you doing? And if there are any Braxtons listening, sorry, but you gotta change your name.
Like literally. Also, can you imagine a baby named Braxton? Like
That's
baby
sick.
Brax?
And they actually have to come out as a frat boy. Like, that's
Literally.
the only possible way.
The only time you should be named Braxton is like 14 to 23, and then you're
Yeah.
done. And then you have to change it.
And then it has to be Bertrude. I don't know.
Bertrude. Bertrude.
Something. Bertrude. Be more serious.
Be more
But yeah,
serious.
those were some of the few moments that I think is so funny of the podcast. But
Yes.
what was the question that you asked? A favorite episode?
Yes. Do you have a favorite episode?
You know, it honestly changes. It changes. For the longest time, it was the Challengers episode that we did.
That's what
Really?
Yes. I think
Okay,
just
you
because
talk
we
about
were
it then.
both so passionate about it and
Yeah.
like fell in love with it so bad at like right away. I think you could just like it was like a palpable joy.
Yeah.
And like I've listened to it since, like just because I also think we had like smart, good stuff to say
100%
about it. And like
yeah.
we have great opinions. Like nothing is more validating to me. Like I've had a couple people in my life be like, I listened to the podcast. You guys like are so great and like have such great chemistry. And I'm like, that is so nice.
That is the
like,
best compliment.
Literally, I never expect people to have listened. Like, even though I tell a lot of people that I have this, like, I'm always like, yeah, it's just like a thing that I do. And, like, someone from my work, like, this guy, Patrick, shout out Patrick if you're listening,
Shout out Patrick.
like, reached out and was like, "This was such a good episode, like, you're so right," and, like, about something, and then
Oh,
he was also like, "Also, I can't believe you're watching The Sopranos for the first time, like, I love that show." Like,
that's so
I don't know,
cool.
it's just, like, it's a way of connection. Community
Yeah.
is everything.
Community! Dude, the
Anyway.
first time that I saw a listener in the wild was, I was getting my ticket printed at the Lightbox, and one of the workers there was like, "Oh, dial M for movies. Are you one of the hosts?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, I like that. I like that podcast. Like, I listen to it." It's like, "What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean?" Because I feel like sometimes we're just only talking to talk,
To no
just
one.
as a conversation, and
Yeah.
like, and I really don't expect anyone to listen to it. Obviously, we're like, "Yeah, listen and please like," but it's like, is anyone
Is
really
anyone doing that?
gonna?
I don't
You
know.
know what I mean? So it's just like, I'm having a nice conversation with you, and that's all that really matters. But then you hear people like that, they're like listening to our stuff, and I'm like, "Hey, how are you?" But it was really cool, and he was just like, have you guys talked about Down for Movies or Down for Murder?" And I was like, "No, we haven't actually. I haven't even
Yeah.
seen it."
And then we
Um,
did.
and then we did, and that was cool. One of my favorite, I guess you could say it's a favorite. I mean, I'm gonna jump into it. Kind of like is a answer to both this question and also one the question which is like, what is you have the favorite movies that you've seen because of this podcast?
Yeah.
And it would have to be the Donald Sutherland episode, MASH and Invasion of the Body Snatchers, because I hadn't seen both and I'd only watched because Donald Sutherland had passed and we wanted to commemorate him in some way. And I still think about MASH for maybe it's because of how good I think Donald Sutherland looked in that movie. Um, Maybe it's because there's outrageous moments that I'm like, how was this even made? And then Invasion of the Body Snatchers is just like the most insane, like body horror sci-fi
Yeah.
movie I've seen. And it's so like ahead of its time. Um, that I'm just like, it's two movies that have stuck with me. And also I just love talking about it with you. So yeah, I really like that movie. That was episode 23 if anyone wants to go watch it. Um, Another favorite episode, I did like the Bike Riders episode for the longest time as well.
Yes. That's another movie that I don't think I would have watched if not for the podcast. Like, I know
Yeah,
that I had good actors, but, like, there's nothing kind of, like, drawing me to it.
I know. And I honestly, if if it weren't for like me looking back at the movies that we've covered, I would not have remembered it. I was like, "Oh yeah, we did that."
Yeah.
Because we also talked about Inside Out too, and I think that was a more memorable film.
Mhm.
I also love how we pair the most random movies together to talk
Oh my
about.
god.
That was one of the things I noticed. I was like, "These 2 don't belong
Literally, like,
together."
Boy Kills World and Turtles All the Way Down.
Like, what? Are we insane?
And, like, Mother's Instinct and, like, I Saw the TV Glow.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like, yeah, it was crazy.
Y2K and Juror Number 2.
Yeah.
What are we doing? Like,
Just, like, drawing out of a hat. Like, we actually do some thinking about, like, what we wanna talk about, but there are too many movies. Like, I
I
always think of
know.
that TikTok of that guy's like, "There are too many movies." Like, how am I gonna watch all the movies? I don't know. Like, I'm
Exactly.
not gonna. Like, I'm stressed out about how I can't watch every movie.
Also, the most insane pairing is actually the one of our most recent, episode 96, How to Make a Killing and My Father's Shadow.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
Well,
Exactly.
yes.
Because those 2 definitely belong together.
I also wanted to shout out, the interview we did with Maya Scalia, who was, like, the first person we ever
Oh
spoke
my
to,
god,
who
yeah.
was so kind, so lovely, so smart,
Yeah.
so, like, knowledgeable about film, had such a way with words, like, was so passionate about this short film
Yeah,
she made,
yeah. And I also
and she
really loved it. I
yeah,
loved
like,
that
it
short.
was really well made, excellently
Yeah.
produced, really well directed, the
Acted as
score was
well.
cool, really well
Oh,
yeah, like,
so good.
it was just a great short film, and she was the first person we spoke to, and she was so wonderful, and still follows me on Instagram to this day, as well as the
Same, shout
podcast.
out Maya.
Shout out Maya, like, she for real
Um,
is so Cool.
We should get dibs for her first interview when she makes a feature debut.
Yes.
You heard it here first, Maya, please.
Please.
Also, I just want to shout out, like, she was also someone who was really involved in our game as well. Again, love
Yes.
talking to people about movies. Like, it was
Yeah.
so much fun, and also we connected over Angus Song's Perfect Songing because that is a universal movie.
Yeah, like, that's a canon event.
100%.
If you're
For all
born
girls, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you're born between, like, 97 and 2001.
Truly.
My favorite episode has been obviously Challengers. I really
Yeah.
liked, the episode we did on Shakespeare movies, as films. 'Cause, like, that's fun, and I don't feel like enough people gave that episode a chance because
No.
we were very smart and knowledgeable about our selections, and I feel like a lot of people don't even know that She's the Man and Get Over It, are even based on Shakespeare. And I feel like if you love a rom-com or a coming-of-age movie, you really enjoy that episode, and I know I enjoyed watching all those movies again, especially, like, they're all so perfectly early 2000s, like, I don't except for Anyone But You, that movie.
Oh my god, I thought I was the only one.
No, I'm not. That movie has grown on
Wow.
me like a scab. Like like, I do
Damn.
not think of it fondly whatsoever, and, like, when you watch it, like, in succession with, like, Oh, and Get Over It, and She's the Man,
Yeah.
and 10 Things I Hate About You.
And
Oh
Rosalind.
and Rosalind, like, it is not holding up, girl. Like,
Yeah.
it's colored like absolute poo-poo caca. Like, why that whole scene of them on the mountaintop with, like, grabbing each other's butts, Sydney Sweeney's horrible, like,
Yeah,
it's just
no, this
it's
is
so
not.
poorly written, like, it just has nothing of what I want from a rom-com, and, yeah. I think at the time I was like, "It's, like, fine for, like, what it is," but now looking back, I'm like, "Girl, I did not like that."
Yeah.
I also really liked, the coming of age episodes that we did about our favorite coming of age movies.
What movies did we cover? What movies did I cover?
I obviously Lady Bird.
Oh, well, duh. That's a given.
We'll never know.
We'll never know. Well, you listen to episode 53 and you'll find out.
Yes. Any other favorite films that you've watched because of the podcast?
Oh, I made a list. I have, like, 11 that I already talked
me too.
about. A few. This is the most recent one, and I would have to say Nirvana, the band, the show, the movie. Because if we weren't doing this podcast and we weren't friends and
You would not have seen that movie.
I would not have because you put me on. Like, genuinely, your enthusiasm for it, and I don't know, the way you kept talking about it, I was just like, what has this girl like this? And I need to know.
Yeah.
And then obviously I did my own research and sat my ass there and watched it, and it was a fun time. It was such a great time.
And I'll take that, and I love that you did that because of me, and let me say, so many other people in my life have said the same thing. They were like, "You were talking about it a lot." And, like, so I went to see it, or, like, people after the fact have seen it and have come up to me to be like, "I saw that movie." Like, people at my work. They
Your
were like,
impact is
literally,
wide.
like, I push culture.
Yeah, you do. You're a culture maker. I love that.
And my first film is one that I watched because of you, because you were so passionate about it, and it's Paris Blues, and it has continued to be a film I think about all the time. It's
the fact that that's my legacy, I'll take it.
Literally,
oh my
like,
god, that's a compliment.
Episode 2.
Yeah, we started off real strong.
We were like, Paris Blues, random film from, like, the 60s,
yeah.
and then Society of the Snow, which was still, I also think about that movie a lot because it was horrifying.
It's on my list as well because that was really good. I was not expecting it.
Craziness. But, like, talk about discovering films that you just, like, would not normally seek out. Like, I didn't even know this movie existed, let alone how much I would like it, but, like, the music and the atmosphere and the performances are just all so perfect, and it was never on my radar. And like it made me want to dig into like more films of that era, made me want to dig
Mhm.
more into Sidney Poitier and Paul Newman. Yeah, it would like that movie is so good. And like they played it at the review recently. I think you went to go see it, right?
No, I didn't. It was,
No.
yeah, I didn't go see it, but I did see it in theater last summer, so
Okay.
I had my experience with it.
Because yeah, it was I would love to see it in a theater because it was so wonderful and something
Yeah,
that I've just like never even thought of watching. And I was so happy we did it right away.
I know. I because we were still at that point where we're like, what kinds of movies are we doing? Are we doing like old stuff? Are we doing new stuff?
Yeah.
And I like that the second episode kind of really set the tone because I feel like we want to watch movies and talk about it. We didn't really care where it's from, where we're watching it, if it's in the theaters or streaming or whatever. And so we were like, fuck it. This is a movie that I'd watched, I think like at the end of 2023. I was like,
Mhm.
holy shit, like this is life changing. And it was because, like you, because I watched that movie, I was like, oh, I need to dive into like older movies, like the
Yeah.
classic Hollywood stuff. Even though, like, I feel like this is like old Hollywood, but nobody talks about it ever.
And yet it has some of like the best performances,
Yeah. The best
incredible
music, Louis
music, the
Armstrong. Are you
music,
kidding?
the
Oh,
music.
the music.
Insane.
Is there another movie
Yeah,
that you,
there's two that I want to like there's a couple more, but two that I wanted to put together
yeah.
and they're like horror movies that weren't on my radar that I ended up really liking and it's Oddity and Strange Darling.
Okay.
Like I'm a huge horror fan and like these just like were not films that I was like particularly
Checking for.
aware of. Like they just like
Mhm.
weren't and like especially Oddity being like a British or an Irish film.
Irish, don't you
Irish film.
dare.
Sorry. Yeah, it being an Irish film, I hadn't really heard of it. I think we just picked it because maybe we'd heard it was scary or it was
Yeah.
like playing somewhere and we were like, we can go see it. And I like literally still am so scared of that movie. I've
Why
not
didn't we
watched
go see it? Why I was watching it alone.
I
Do you remember why?
maybe like one of us was busy one of the days because I also saw it alone.
Dude, that was the most terrifying
Literally
theater
this
experience of
that
my life.
that jump scare in the tent literally still haunts me. Like I think
Yeah.
about that all the time.
Yeah.
Same with the weird wooden man.
Oh, no.
Like that movie was so scary and it's still one of the scariest films I've ever seen like
Yeah.
in my entire life.
I think people should study that when it comes to suspense because
Yes.
I could feel it in the pit of my stomach. Like, it
Yeah.
was just there the whole time.
It's so scary and it's a movie I probably would have skipped or maybe never even heard of and I'm so glad I watched it. And then in addition to that, Strange Darling was something that I had heard about but not particularly like been super interested in. I'm not like a huge person who likes thrillers, but it ended up being so much more like a horror film. And it's just like one of those movies that you keep thinking about after. And I still think about it a lot, especially like how it was colored and Kyle Gallner's performance and
Yeah.
like the twist of it all. And I think about the colors of it all the time, to be honest. Like that red, just like how red it felt. And there were so many scenes that had this like bright red in it. And that scene of them making breakfast, like that older couple making breakfast with all the butter. Yeah, it was unpredictable and crazy and it was cool. Like I feel like the podcast has really kind of pushed me to watch like not riskier films, but like it's pushed me out of my comfort zone more than I have given it credit for, I think, to like try new stuff and think about films in like a different way, which I think is nice and cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, perfect segue to a movie that I like to call a disgusting girl film, Final Boss,
Yes.
which is Horde.
Yes.
And a movie that I would not have seen if it hadn't been for this podcast. I mean, I obviously love Joseph Quinn. I think he's a fantastic actor. This movie's like it's very indie, very British indie.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Where
I
did it go?
genuinely believe we are the only two people in Toronto that I've seen it. Like,
It was us and whoever else was in that.
oh
like,
yeah,
watch theater that
exactly.
day.
Because we watched it in the theater, right? It was only us. Like,
I
and
think no
love
one else
that
has
for-
seen it. ever.
No, it came out in the UK, but that's pretty much it, and I don't think it had a actual theatrical run in the US or Canada, if I'm not
No.
mistaken. If I am, like, let me know, but I don't think it has because no one ever seems to know what I'm talking about when I say horror.
No. No
And
one knows.
I no one knows, but we know, and because of this podcast, we discovered it and we talked about it, and we both realized that we love disgusting girl movies because I feel like
Yes.
there's a lot of emphasis on, like, girls being, like, really, like, having their shit together and, like, being really prim and proper and, you know, just following society's expectations of them, and then in this movie, you're watching a girl grieve her mother in the most horrific way, so in a way that makes sense for her, and, while you're like, "Ooh, that's not really hygienic," you're like, "You know what? Let her be because she's grieving," and I just thought it was a really beautiful way for her to honor her mother as well, who was also a hoarder. It was just like I really enjoyed it in the story that Luna Carmoon was trying to tell. Um, and I actually cannot wait for her another one. She needs to have
I
another
agree.
disgusting girl movie. Like, she does it so well.
Yeah, it was so good. I also wanted to talk about Dee Dee, like,
Yeah.
once we were talking about coming of age, but, like, that was, again, a movie that I had not heard of, really. Like, we saw it playing at the Lightbox, and we were like, "Let's go," and, like, I'd seen a poster for it, I think, at the Lightbox, and that was it, and
Yeah.
we were like, "Yeah, let's talk about it," and I remember going into the theater and, like, could not stop smiling. Like, it gave me the same feelings as when I watched 8th Grade, like, Bo Burnham's film, which is,
Mhm.
like, one of my favorite movies ever, and it just, like, felt so specific, but also weirdly universal, and, like, has so much, like, modern nostalgia attached to it, like, the internet era, and, like, it was just a perfect coming of age movie about someone who's so different to me, but yet I felt so seen and welcomed by it,
Yeah.
and, yeah, it was just, like, a movie I would not have seen probably without this podcast, and then getting to talk to you about it and, like, hearing that you also, like, really liked it and felt connected to it was really cool.
Yeah. Sometimes the more niche something is, the more personal it is,
Yeah.
because you feel like you're the only one that's experienced something, and it's like, no, there's actually, like, 8 billion people in this world. Like, we've all been through something similar at one point or another.
Yeah.
And Dee Dee being about, an Asian American kid who was, like, 13 in 2008, and we're like, "Oh, shit, I remember doing that too." Like,
Yeah.
ew, or cringing at lines that he would say or whatever, like, or his just, internal feelings. It's like we could relate to that too
Yeah.
because we were all young once. And so yeah, Dee Dee's a really good one to bring up. Love that movie. Another one is, honestly, I'm just gonna rattle off a few because I have a long list. Coolie High.
That was my next one.
No way. Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah, like, another one I would not have watched otherwise. Maybe didn't
Mhm.
even know about it, really,
Same.
and, like, you could so easily compare this to, like, any coming of age, like,
Yeah.
masterpiece. Like, it was so good, and, like, I feel like you could see its influence in so many more modern films and, like, see how it's still relevant, and God, it was, like, so much sadder than I thought.
Heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking,
Heartbreaking.
but, oh my god, it just, like, everyone killed it. Like,
Yeah.
there are so it was right we did it, like, a 50th anniversary episode of it from, like, 1975, I'm pretty sure, which
Yeah.
is
So it was
crazy.
also One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest as well.
Yes. Which I can't believe I had never heard of it, and yet, like, I feel like so many modern coming of age films have, like,
Take inspiration from it.
taken
Yeah.
inspiration from it, yeah.
100%. It was just so fun, like, and so funny, and, like, seeing young Black guys at a time just, like, doing their thing, running
Yeah.
around, being little rascals, and really having that freedom to discover themselves and
Yeah.
their, romantic interests, and it's just, like, such good vibes. Obviously, not all the time, because, like I said, ends on a heartbreaking note, but for a while there, it's like it's really fun to see these guys just, like, mess about, and
Yeah.
it's really funny. And I would highly suggest to anyone who wants to watch a coming of age movie that's, like, different to the ones we
Yeah.
get to see, because on Wiki, I kinda like how they described it. It's a American independent hood coming of age. I'm like,
Love.
"Yeah, it is hood. It is so hood, and we shouldn't shy away from that." So, yeah. What was another one? Memoir of a Snail.
Mm,
I don't think I would have seen it if we hadn't talked to Adam Elliott, and
yeah.
I loved can I just say, I actually listened to our Adam Elliott, um, episode recently, and the way he says my name with his is he Kiwi? Is he New
Yeah.
Zealand or Australian? Okay, he's New Zealand. In that New Zealand accent, I'm obsessed. It's nasally. I think he said my name after I asked a question. He goes, "Well, Khadija," and I was like, I obviously can't, replicate it. But it's just I was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
But also his conversation, like talking to him and like getting to hear his inspiration about both this movie and a little bit of Max and Mary was really interesting because
Yeah.
you don't really hear about the process that it takes to make an animated claymation movie, but you
Mhm.
hear obviously about like what it's like to make a feature debut that's like obviously live action, but his process taking like 8 years is kind of wild. You really have to be in it
Insane.
for the love of the game and not for what fame and fortune. Like you're just not, gonna find that. Obviously, like he is an Academy Award winner, so there is that going for him. But yeah, him just sticking with the story. And for me, as someone who's ADHD, that scares me. What do you mean 8 years you're committing to this?
There ugh,
Yeah, I
I could
just
not.
couldn't. But and he had to write a script first and then, like, make the little Grace puddle. I think about her all the time, actually.
I think about it all the time.
Yeah, I felt so seen by snails. Like, it was truly a crazy thing to experience, but I love that movie. Breakfast at Tiffany, only
Mhm.
because before this, like, having reviewed it on the podcast, I had found out that it had a pretty, insane yellow face, and I was just
Mhm.
like, the fact that nobody talks about it when talking about Breakfast at Tiffany's is insane to me because
Yeah.
he's such like, he's a character in that movie that's very prominent. I just think that's a weird thing to leave out if you're gonna tell people, "Go watch this movie." It's like, by the way, there's some, pretty crazy shit in there.
It's just like
Um,
racism. Just like really,
racism,
really
yeah.
big racism.
No, dead ass. But yeah, that I feel like that put me off it. But then obviously for this movie, I had to watch it, and I didn't mind it. I think that what pissed me off more was the fact that they got together when I was like, "Girl, no!" Like
Yeah.
she
Also,
knew
her,
she
like,
wanted to.
handling that cat, just, like, fucking flipping it up, and, like, she
Oh,
was just
she
yanking
had
that
zero
cat.
regard for that cat.
No.
Oh,
Crazy.
but I did love her outfits. Holly Golightly is iconic in her own
Yeah.
right, but not this movie.
Yeah.
Um, Friendship, again, another movie that you talked about and you, were really excited about, and therefore I was excited about. So thank you for introducing me to that because that's really fucking funny. Twinless, I just
Mhm.
don't I feel like we were on an indie kick, and then we discovered it together or something. I don't even
Yeah.
know how it came about, but
We had talked about it briefly when we talked about Sundance, like, during one episode because
yes.
we knew it was premiering at Sundance, but then when it was finally kind of getting very limited or we didn't watch it in a theater, but, when it was kind of coming out, like, last year sometime, we were like, "Well, we can do this," and yeah, I agree. I ended up it was amazing.
Yeah. And then Crooklyn, another coming of age, and this was
Yeah,
for the Spike Lee episode. Loved it. Loved those little kids down. Some of the best like child acting you've ever seen is in that
100%,
movie. Like
100%.
truly. And then the last one is The Cabin in the Woods, which again, a credit to you. I loved this movie and I have the DVD and I'm very glad that you put me onto this because it is completely unexpected. Like I went into it thinking it's going to be one thing and then it turns out to be something else and it's like you can never see it coming, but also makes total sense and it's so campy and silly and funny and a little bit scary, but not totally. And it's just so great. Yeah. Shout out you for putting me on to some of my favorite movies now.
Well, shout out to you for Happy Death Day because I was always like, "This is, like, silly," and then I ended up really liking it. Also, I don't know why, like, Conclave is one that never would have
Yeah.
thought to watch that movie,
Oh,
and
wait,
when
no,
you
I
had to
watched that
watch
too.
it,
I was really excited.
I did not see it at TIFF, and I was just like, "What is this even about?" Like, it seems so boring, and
Yeah.
then when I watched it, I was like, "Oh my god, this is incredible."
Yeah.
Like, the blueprint when it comes to, like, tension and performance and, like, a setting. Like, what's it
Yeah.
called when there's a TV show and, like, it all takes place in one location?
Ooh,
like a bottle episode or something like that. And like it
bottle?
felt like that. It was just so perfect and not something I would have rushed to watch on my own. And I'm so glad we watched it because of this, because I was like, this is amazing. And like I cannot believe, and then it went on for like to have like an incredible award season
Mhm.
run. And it was deserved, and I did not expect the ending to happen
Yeah.
at all.
I'm pretty sure that same director made All Quiet on the Western Front, and that's another movie that I had
Yes.
watched that I was, like, not expecting to like as much as I
Yes.
did, and my brother put me onto that one because I was like, "I'm not really into a war movie," and I knew that it was getting, like, attention from, awards buzz or whatever, and I was just like, "Oh, like, is this really worth it?" Girl, yes, it's
Yeah.
real good. The storytelling is beautiful. I know it's like a remake, but still, like, this version is really well done, and then, of course, that ending was, like, just really sad and, like, not
Yeah.
expected.
I still need to
Um,
see that.
please do. It's really good. I haven't seen, the Colin Firth one. Not Colin Firth, Colin Farrell, the new one that he did.
Oh, Ballad of a Small Player.
Yeah.
Edward
I don't even
Berger is his
I
name.
don't I think so. Is it
Yes.
Berger or Berger?
I think it's Berger.
Okay.
Um, I also wanted to just shout out you for watching so many horror movies because of the podcast, as being someone who doesn't like
I mean,
horror all too
I'm
much.
kind of over that now, though,
I know, and
but
I
it's
think
because of
it's been
you
a
that I'm
real
over
joy
it.
to watch you come into this, like,
Aw,
era
thanks.
of yourself, and, like, to get
Yeah.
over a fear and to, like, enjoy a genre that maybe you weren't always a fan of, and it's been really cool, and I've appreciated it because I have loved horror movies, and I like sharing them with people, so it's been really nice, so thank you so much for being willing
Yeah.
to
Well, I mean,
adapt.
there's so many good ones out there, like, I hadn't seen The Exorcist for the longest time, and of course I haven't, but then I did watch it, and I was like, "This is really well made." For this
Yeah.
be and it's, like, genuinely creepy, and I don't fuck with, like, ghosts and, like, jinn stuff. That's 'cause I do
Yes.
believe in that, so I'm like,
Yeah.
"No, thank you." Um, but I couldn't help but, like, be so enamored by the filmmaking of it all. I think the performances is just like chef's kiss. That was like, hey, fair play. Like it's really good. Like you got me. It's really scary, but it's also really
Yeah.
good. I appreciate you appreciating me because it's good to be seen and appreciated for something that I had to work really hard at. Olivia, I got over a fear, man.
Yeah, you did, and, like, it's still scary, like, I don't love,
Yeah.
well, I actually kinda do, but I was gonna say, I don't love going to see scary movies by myself, but I do.
Do you
Um,
actually?
yeah, I, like, really don't
Is it is
mind,
it
like,
is it thrilling?
especially in a theater, I'm like, "I'm not alone, like, there's all these people here."
But you have no
Um,
one to hold on to when shit gets real scary. Like
well, I
a
think I'm
jump
just
scare
kinda
moment.
like, just kinda do this, like, hide my face,
Yeah,
and
I guess
I don't
so.
know, and, like, I watch them by myself, like, at home a lot of the time too. Like, there's definitely, like, moments on the weekend where I'm like, "I need to watch like, a horror movie, like, right now."
Do you
Um,
wait for the sun to set, or are you doing it, like,
no, I can do it
noon?
during the day.
Yeah,
Um,
that's reasonable. I think I watched The Exorcist during the day, like, that was the only way 'cause I was watching it on
yeah,
my own.
I don't mind doing them at night. I don't love, like, anything too creepy at night that's, like, not a lot of stuff scares me, like, there are movies that I won't watch because of, like, body horror because I really don't like
I'm scared to
that.
watch Titan
Like, same.
or Teton or whatever the
Same.
hell.
Teton, yeah. I'm scared of to watch Teton. I'm scared to watch any of the Terrifier movies, like,
No,
anything that I
that's just
know,
no, that's straight up,
like,
like,
gore,
body
literally, like,
horror porn.
yes, like, like, torture porn.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
don't like anything like that. Like, there's a movie called, The House That Jack Built that's supposed to be, like, incredibly violent and disgusting,
Oh,
like,
no.
for no reason. And, like, I don't live for that because it's just, like, I don't like body stuff. Like, that's, like, my one thing. Like, I don't really mind ghosts and ghouls and, like, haunted houses, and, like, I don't love it because I also
Yeah,
believe in it to an
yeah,
extent.
yeah.
And, like, there are evenings when I wake up and I'm like, "Why does my chair kind of look like a person?"
Oh, no. Oh,
And, like,
no.
I get spooked, like, with stuff like that. And, like, I've had, like, spooky experiences, like, with ghosts, like, growing up.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm definitely kind of, like, a little bit spooked, but I don't know, everything in horror movies to me is, like, so campy to the point of, like, what are we even like, I never m like, anything with zombies, anything with, like
Yeah.
any that's, like, silly like that, I'm like, "Girl,
Mhm.
this is just camp. It's,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
silly." But, like, trying to think, like, a movie like Contagion or something like that would freak me out.
Right. Yeah.
Or, like yeah, like the Terrifier movies of just, like or, like, Cannibal Holocaust or something like that, like,
Mhm.
I really don't fuck with stuff like
It's
that.
like someone being deranged for the sake of being deranged.
Yeah, and just, like, being so violent because I think I
Mhm.
forget, like, people do just be, like, getting ripped up and, like, in
Yeah.
real life. I think that's why I sometimes shy away from true crime documentaries because 'cause I'm like,
Yeah.
I can watch, like, The Conjuring, no problem, but, like,
Yeah.
some insane guy that just randomly stabbed a woman on the street and, like, is still at large, that's horrifying.
Yeah.
Like
And I feel like also as women, it's, like, so much more likely to
like,
happen
the
to us, and I'm like
reality.
yeah. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like, why do I wanna engage with that when I could, yeah, be scared by, you know, ghosts and paranormal activity and shit like that, you know?
Yeah, like, and that's just, like, silliness, and I can, like
Which, by the way, apparently Paranormal Activity on stage is coming to
oh, I've
Toronto.
heard that.
Can we go see that together?
I would love to.
Okay.
Love, love, love to.
Perfect.
Apparently, The Woman in Black on stage is also really good and scary.
That came, but I don't know if it's still playing.
I think you're
When
right.
I don't know, you know what I hate? I like, obviously, I love Toronto, I do, but one thing that sucks about it is our theaters, like on stage productions, the runs are so short,
Yeah.
and if you don't see it within a second,
Yeah.
it's gone, like, your chance is gone, and that I want to go watch, Some Like It Hot because I'd watched the movie and I was like, "Oh my god, there's a
Mhm.
musical."
Love the
I'd
movie.
missed it by 2 weeks.
Oh,
Okay, don't piss me off, and guess it was on for 4. It was on for 1 month. It's like,
I
"Can
know,
I go
that's
sit
not long
somewhere
enough.
else?"
I
So
saw
I think
Shucked last weekend,
oh,
which
okay.
was really funny, actually. I thought it was gonna be kind of stupid and silly, but it was actually really funny.
What is that about? Because I know
It's
I just saw corn on
corn
your
yeah, it's
little
like,
pamphlet.
um, this, like, hick town called, like that grows a bunch of corn, and then their corn starts dying, so one of the girls in the town leaves to go, like, get help from someone, and she meets this guy who's kind of like a scammer, and he comes back
Yeah.
to the town to try and, like, fix the corn because he finds out that these rocks that were, like, around the area are, like, worth a lot of money, and he's, like, in a lot of debt, so he, like, goes to, like, kind of trick
Steal
them
the
to
rocks?
steal the rocks and, like,
Mm.
fix the corn, and then
But falls in love with the
hilarity
family and
ensues.
oh.
But it was actually very funny and well made, so would recommend. Although I
Oh.
don't know how long it's gonna be here.
With Toronto, it could already be gone.
Yeah, it might already be. The biggest thing about this podcast for me personally is, like, it has genuinely changed what I watch. It has made me more curious, more open, and, like, more willing to take chances on movies that maybe I would have ignored before, and to, like, be more critical of them, um, as well as seek out community to talk about them and understand them better, which has been
Yeah.
very cool.
I would like to second that. Like I said, I find it the most fun and interesting to me when I meet someone who likes a movie that I didn't like, especially when it's that dynamic, because I'm so eager to understand what made it click for you, and not not to be like, "Oh, what's wrong with me?" But more like, "Okay, well, thank you for giving me another angle to look at this film
Yeah.
at." Do you know what I mean? I think it was really interesting coming out of The Sound of Falling, where I was falling asleep, and there were other people who are, like, really engaged with it in a really honest manner, and getting to hear their experience and why they loved it as much as they did was honestly one of the highlights of my experience, because I was just like, "Oh, I didn't really like it that much, but I'd like to hear why you liked it." It's just really rewarding to, like, be able to have that conversation with someone, and not, like, because there are people who will put you down if you don't like their favorite movies, which I think is, like, really bizarre and very
Yeah.
stupid and very immature, and honestly, I will say it mostly comes from men, so men, I am talking to you. Stop that shit. It's fucking whack. But if you can have an honest conversation with someone about the reasons why you didn't like a movie and they did, or why they didn't like a movie and you did, that's what happened. That's like the magic of movies, like having that conversation with someone and
Yeah.
breaking it down. Again, like we don't really get into disagreements about the movies that we watch because we tend to have the same taste. Imagine if we disagreed on every single.
That would be too much. Like
It would
I
be
would be
way
tired.
this podcast would have been over episode
Like
maybe
6.
12.
Yeah, like
Okay, you have less belief in us. That's fine.
no.
That's totally fine.
Yeah, it would have been less. Like I think having similar tastes is helpful because we want to watch the same things, but then coming out of it, we don't always feel that way on the other side, which I think is more helpful.
And again, I feel like that comes out during TIFF when I have a list of movies that I want to watch, and you're like, there will be some overlaps, but then you'll have like a totally different list as well. And I'm like, oh, okay, like let me know how that turns out.
Yes.
And I actually followed you into one, which was not in a creepy way.
Which one?
You knew that I was there. Caroline and Caroline.
Oh yes.
That was on your list.
And that we got a distributor. It's coming out via VBS. Very excited.
I actually can't wait to watch it again because it was really fun.
Me too. It was really fun.
But yeah, thank you so much to anyone who's listening at this point.
Yeah.
100 episodes is such an insane thing to be able to say. And again, I really am grateful that I started this podcast with Olivia. I could not imagine doing it with anyone else. I don't think I would be doing this if it wasn't for you.
Same.
Yeah, truly. So I'm really happy that we have created our own space and pocket on the internet where we can talk shit about our favorite movies. But yeah, again, thank you for listening.
You.
And hey, we're now on YouTube.